Welcome to Voices of Indianapolis, where we explore the narratives of innovators, collaborators, and communicators shaping our city. I'm Jeff Edge, your host on this journey. Join us as we uncover their strengths, glean insights into their views of Indianapolis, and unravel the qualities that make them exemplary role models. Through candid conversations, we aim to illuminate their impactful projects, collaborations, and communication efforts that are propelling our community forward. Together, we'll celebrate these influencers, fostering inspiration and dialogue to forge a stronger, more united Indianapolis.
I am Kyle Gavin. I am the principal resident at Emma Donnan Elementary and Middle School. This is my 8th year in education. I've done it all. Been PE teacher, dean, assistant principal, math teacher, and now principal in training.
I'm Sammy Hyde. I'm proud to be the assistant school leader of academics at Circle City Prep on the far east side of Indianapolis.
And I am Elise Dahlstrom. I am the assistant school leader of student supports, also at Circle City Prep.
What books or classes do you think teachers should have to learn new and better ways of teaching?
Yeah, I think that's a really great question. One of the things that I think teachers should have to learn, new and better ways of teaching, would probably have to be around information gathering, technology type things, because that's an ever-changing landscape, and so teachers have to keep up with what's happening in the world so that they're teaching kids exactly what they need to know with that subject.
Yeah, to build on that, I have a math background, so my choice is going to be around math, just like the different strategies. I know people say it all the time, new math. It's not new math, it's just we're giving kids strategies that they can access the concepts, but teachers have to be able to do those concepts and understand them deeply as well, so then kids can understand them.
This is a really nerdy teacher thing to say, but I deeply believe you have to Maslow before you can bloom. There's a lot of teacher training that goes into how to teach, what is pedagogy, what to teach, what lessons students need. But I think it's more important that teachers are able to meet students where they are because everyone's different. So I think every teacher should be required to read Culturally Responsive Teaching in the Brain by Dr. Zaretta Hammond. It gives a lot of real life strategies on how to connect with students that might be different than you or might have different opinions than you, and how to make sure that they're seen and valued and safe so that they can learn. Because what we know is if you're worried about feeling unsafe, if you're hungry, if you're bored, if something's stopping you from learning, it doesn't matter what content they put in front of you.
My question would be, what can we do to help students want to learn and believe that they can get smarter?
I'd say ask them, what are they motivated by? What do they want to be true? What are their goals? And I think that if students can articulate their goals, they're more likely to want to work for them.
I think one of the biggest things for me is that teachers have to create a culture of error in their class. Kids have to know it's okay to make mistakes when they're in class because that's how we learn. That's how we learn as adults. You learn from your mistakes, and a teacher has to make it so that kids are comfortable in class making mistakes so that they can learn.
Yeah, and Kyle, similar to that point, it's like teachers also have to be really transparent with their students as well, showing them that they also make mistakes, showing them that it's okay and how they've overcome those issues as well.
Do students get to help decide what happens in their schools?
Like, do you think they should? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm asking if they do. Do they get to help? And if they do, what is it? What are they doing?
Yeah. I would say at least at our school, they're a lot younger, and so we've got 5-year-olds, and so what they want to be true at their school is probably not what's in their best interest long term necessarily. But we do make changes in our systems and procedures to be responsive to what they need, what they're interested in. But overall, I wouldn't say that they have like an overly loud voice in like actually creating systems in that space.
Yeah, same thing. We are a K-8 school, so what applies to our 7th and 8th graders doesn't necessarily apply to our 5-year-olds, like Elise said. But I do think that's something that we need to do a better job of just in education and all around, is giving our 7th and 8th graders some of that choice, some of that freedom, so that they are prepared for college and high school and college, and just like living life as an adult. So I think that's a really good question. That's a great push. You should push it here as well.
How do you believe that innovation and communication plays a role in your jobs?
being someone who is in charge of leading teachers, my entire job is communication. I have to make what I see in the classroom actionable for them so then they can improve their instruction and then make it what's better for kids. So everything I do is about communication. As far as innovation goes, I do think there's this term in education, best practices, and I think it gets thrown around a lot, but it doesn't really mean anything. And I think teachers have to continuously innovate what they're doing, and leaders have to be able to respond to that and push their teachers to innovate, to teach kids in new and exciting ways to keep them interested. That was a really good question.
Yeah, I also want to shout you out for that super solid question that really tells me what your core values are and what you're focused on. I want to start with innovation. I think innovation is so important in school right now because what you all are learning as high schoolers is not the same thing that we learned as high schoolers. And what you need is real life skills to get jobs and careers that you want are not the same skills that we were teaching 5-10 years ago. And so it's important to be innovative in education because there are careers out there that don't even exist yet. There are people in this room who are really excited to make changes happen. And so it's important that the education that you receive empowers you to be critical thinkers and problem solvers so that you can innovate and create. And then in terms of communication to me is power. If you're able to effectively communicate what you need and what you want and advocate for that, you're more likely to be able to create the changes that you want to see. And so I think communication is such an asset if you do it well. If you have clear written and spoken communication, you're more likely to get what you want and what you need because people respect those who are clear, concise communicators.
What are your guys' thoughts on doing a podcast every week? This isn't something I've ever seen in school. So, like, to go towards your question, like, this is innovation right here, the way that you guys are learning. So, like, what are your thoughts? What are your experiences around this?
I think it's pretty interesting that a school is hosting their own podcast. Like, I think it's just a way to put the school out there, and I think that's very interesting.
At the moment, it's still more experimental, but I feel like it can improve. Like this, it shouldn't be the peak of what this podcast can become. At the moment, a lot of students consider it a chore to come here, and we know that. And we know that most students don't really want to come to the podcast. But I do believe it can evolve into something funner, something cleaner, and we just need to keep going.
What do you think the peak is? If you said this isn't the peak, like how high do you think it can go?
I think it can go forever. We can get more and more people on, different teachers, public figures, actors, celebrities even at some point. It just needs to keep going. It can continuously go.
If you could have anybody on the podcast, who would you have?
Out of greed or out of like necessity? Like
both.
Like me or
yes,
like
you.
the school?
No, you, for sure.
No, me. I would have the lovely Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. But like for the school, I don't think that's needed.
Of course it's needed.
Yeah, I love Josh Allen. He's a great guy.
So you said that if we could choose anyone, I'd probably have the animation team of Lego Monkey Kid.
Why?
I think they're very inspiring, and their works are very detailed and pretty, and just well animated in general.